So I spent 1 hour reading that abomination of a fanfic. I didn't finish it, and here's a short summary of what happens. So yeah. Oh, I should also mention this. I looked up the profile of the author, and yeah, she apparently has a few alter egos, and for every character she creates, she's basically herself. It's a mindfuck. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the summary. In the following chapter, Kaylee can't believe that Liam could be capable of doing this. Cause he totally didn't do that to her in the first place, by the way. Anyway, after the boys finish, Kaylee goes down to the girls and they tell her about how they got kidnapped, and she takes the girls upstairs so that they can take a shower in her room. Yes, now that she's pregnant, she can go all around the house apparently and do what she wants. Yeah, I highly doubt that most rapists would allow this to their victims, but okay. One of the girls also tells her that Liam raped her, and she is quite shocked by that. And they all go to Kaylee's room to sleep. In the morning, the boys found out that the three girls are missing from the basement, and they try to get into Kaylee's room, so the girls hide before the boys get into the room, and they say to Kaylee that they kidnapped three more girls because they can't do much with the two pregnant ones. And then one of the girls screams and jumps out of the closet because there's a big spider in the closet. And yes, I have arachnophobia and I wouldn't do that if I was in that scenario. But anyway, the spider also gets out and they all start panicking and screaming. And yes, apparently the spider is jumping from a person to a person, and that's impossible because I don't know. The only spiders that can do that are those small jumping spiders, but they aren't bigger than a pea, even smaller than that actually. So yeah, bigger spiders don't jump like grasshoppers. Anyway, yeah, the five guys and five girls go all nuts because of one spider, and Kaylee panics so much that Harry has to bring her out of the room, and he then says to Kaylee that he will take care of the child. And Kaylee also doesn't get in trouble because she brought the three girls upstairs. Of course she doesn't now, apparently. All of the girls then stay in the same room for 5 hours because the boys get a visitor, and in the meantime they watch a movie and do each other's hair, and they have a good time, which is very unrealistic considering the three of them got raped a day before that. But anyway, yeah, and Liam tells Kaylee that the others force him to rape the girl, and after that they all go to sleep. And the next morning, Kaylee takes a shower and thinks about her and Alexa's baby, and now I wrote this down, quote unquote. We both planned that if she had a boy and I have a girl, they would be best friends and maybe fall in love, like those cute little stories on Wattpad. Anyway, she and Alexa go downstairs to find one of the three girls, and she tells them that last night she got raped again. And just a little thought there. These girls are allowed to go anywhere in the house, right? Why don't they just, I don't know, take a few knives from the kitchen and stab the rapists? I mean, it can't get worse than this. Anyway, but then again, in fanfics like this, I wouldn't be surprised if the five girls get married to the five guys and they all live happily forever and everything is forgotten and forgiven. Anyway, then one of the sudden Kaylee's stomach starts to hurt and the baby starts to kick. The way it's written like this, I thought that only a week has passed since it was raped, but apparently a few months have passed. I don't know, it's maybe like in that Troya movie that, yeah, apparently 10 years passed, and the way it's set in that movie, I think it doesn't take even a month. Anyway, and then the girls want to go to the doctor and have an ultrasound, and well, the guys are okay with that. And not only that, but everybody goes to the hospital, including the three girls that got recently raped. And yeah, because it's One Direction, apparently it's completely normal that a famous boy band goes to the hospital with two pregnant teen girls. And that will get no media attention at all. Nope. But that's not all. The three raped girls also go there and behave like everything's normal. I mean, of course, every raped girl would behave like that. And they say nothing to anyone about what happened to them. Very realistic. Oh, and the babies are now one of a sudden so big that the doctors can tell their genders. Again, apparently months have passed. When I read it, I thought that maybe a week passed. I don't know. Then the next chapter, I had to read it 3 times because it makes no sense whatsoever. Alexa finds out that she has a boy, and when the nurse tries to tell Kaylee the gender of her baby, then one of a sudden the electricity goes out and everybody panics big time. Because it's the same as in the movie they watched before. And they all leave the hospital. They run out of the hospital actually, and even one of the three new girls who fell immediately goes up and runs to the others for safety. And then also Harry grabs Kaylee and yeah, carries her bridal stuff to the car. Yes, the first guy that raped her, by the way, so that they can all go home. And when they come home, they find out that the boys already have three girlfriends. One of them is Liam's girlfriend, and Kaylee gets upset that Liam told her that they're still together. Didn't tell her that they're still together. And Liam says that he and Kaylee never really had something together, and she gets a hissy fit and slaps him across the face. Okay, what the heck is this even? What's the point of this fanfic? At this point, I simply don't see what is the author even trying to tell us. Anyway, she goes up to her room and Louis, I think, came and cheers her up. And then they all watch a movie, and when Kaylee goes to the toilet, she finds that Liam is there and is crying, and they kiss, and everything is fine apparently after that. And now it also says that it's been months since they first kissed, the first time actually, because to this point I actually thought that, I don't know, maybe a week or maybe 2 passed since they got kidnapped. Maybe I didn't pay that much attention considering how bad this fanfic was, but then again, I seriously thought that they were just kidnapped for a week. And no, I'm not going to reread that fanfic because I already wasted too much time reading that abomination. That poorly written smut. So they all watch movies together and have a great time, by the way, until a coated figure doesn't leave a note in the house which says, "In 2 months the baby will be mine." They all panic and go to California because the girls they want to go there because they want to have a tan. Yes, they are very shallow, by the way, all five of them. When they arrive there, they find out that there are a lot of One Direction fans there, and yeah, because I mean, this is where the logic of this fanfic completely falls apart because if five, I I don't know how many of one there are in One Direction. If a famous boy band goes together with a few random girls, I mean that would be all over the news. I mean, and their fans would panic immediately. So yeah. Anyway, as soon as they appear there, they find another note from the coated figure. And Liam also wants to have sex with Kylie all of a sudden again, but she runs away from him to the others. 2 months later, Kaylee gives birth to twins. Yup, twins. And immediately after the babies were born, they get the results of the DNA test. No, it doesn't work like this. The twins have also different fathers. One is from Harry and one is from Liam, apparently. When they leave, they also are followed by paparazzi. Oh yes, and Alexa also gives birth. And yeah, a boy band driving home two teenage mothers totally is completely unsuspicious at all. And yes, the paparazzis and the media will also completely forget this and won't even pay attention to this. Anyway, and also those girls that have been missing for 9 months, also nobody's will be missing them. And when they get home, the Unicorn Queen, one of her alter egos of the author who wrote this, kidnaps the babies from Kaylee, and the story ends. Yeah, it ends like this, and there's actually a sequel to this story. And no, I'm not going to read this. Don't even bother requesting this because I'm not going to read this. And yeah, it doesn't make any kind of sense whatsoever. And I did start reading the first just to see if it gets explained, and it's just wishy-washy, whatever. Okay, now let's get to the problems of this abomination of the fanfic. First of all, fix all typos. If the person that JB Lover, whatever she was called, if you are watching this, fix the typos. It's not that hard. If you're going to publish something on the internet, that's the least that you can do. Second, your story doesn't make any sense whatsoever. As I already pointed out several times before, there is no way that this could happen at all, and even if it would happen, there's no way that it could stay this long like this. I mean, as soon as they would get kidnapped and they would leave the house open, the girls would get out, call the police, whatever. They would get arrested and it wouldn't even be possible. It makes no sense, it has no logic, it comes across as a poorly written, I don't know, wet dream, fantasy, whatever. And also that the girls would stay actually all five of them in the same house. I mean, from now on I'm going to live in the same house as the person who raped me. Okay, third. The two main characters are Mary Sue's. Actually, all five girls are Mary Sue's. They have no character development or any real personality whatsoever, and they basically have the character development of a Happy Wheels character. And yes, since you inserted yourself in the story, I don't know how many of these characters supposed to reflect you. but still it's just a mess, and fanfiction shouldn't. You shouldn't insert yourself into a fanfic. You shouldn't. It's just no. Fourth, you have real people in this fanfic, and that's a big no-no from me. And despite what teenage girls like to say on my videos, having real people in fanfics is wrong. Yes, defend this abomination how much you want. Having real people in this is wrong. Number 5. Your story has no consistency whatsoever. Nothing makes sense. And yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. For you describe how much the girls are in pain from getting raped, and then apparently right after that okay, I mean, with the rapist, I mean, everything will be fine. I mean, no. Number 6. How can you go from a rape story to we're friends and a family living together? How? Just how? And number 7. Don't post updates or any of your crazy ideas as new chapters, because from what I read, I think that only 12 or 13 chapters are real chapters. The rest are just silly updates and crazy author's notes. There have also been several other flaws in this story, but they can be ignored and aren't as important as the 7 big ones, at least to me. So now I'm done. And I don't want to read a Wattpad abomination at least for another year. And yeah, the next fanfic got requested to me by 3 people actually. And it's less than 2,000 words long. It's shorter than 2,000 words. So yeah, I will see when I read that one. And yeah, I think I'm going to get some brain bleach now. Bye!